Iran's President Hassan Rouhani is calling for more reformists to be allowed to participate in parliamentary elections in February. The body in charge of vetting candidates has banned a large number of people. In a speech on state television, Rouhani said the reformist faction should be represented. Rouhani himself was elected president in 2013 on a moderate reformist platform.
The parliament is called the House of the People, not of a particular faction. If religious minorities number 20,000 or 30,000, they are still represented in the parliament. But there is also a faction in this country with 7 to 10 million supporters.
Let's get more on this from Simon Mabon. He's a lecturer in international relations in the Department of Politics, Philosophy and Religion at Lancaster University. Simon, thank you very much for your time. So how are Rouhani's comments likely to go down then in Iran?
Well, I think it's important to put this in the wider context of what's happened in the past week or so, the implementation of the nuclear deal, the lifting of sanctions. And I think a number of people are really happy that the economy has been opened up, that sanctions have been lifted, and that life in Iran is going to be better. But there's still this huge issue of factionalism within Iranian politics, and Rouhani saying that he wants more reformers to be involved in the process will only serve to antagonize those people that are concerned about what's happened with the sanctions being lifted, that are concerned about the rapprochement with the US. So I think this might serve to deepen the divisions within the factional Iranian political system.
So, I mean, the divide then between those who are perceived as moderates and those who are considered hardliners, could that divide become problematic for the country?
Yeah, I think it's got the potential to be. I mean, let's not forget as well that this is a really important body of Velayat-e Faqih, the Iranian system of government, that will ultimately decide who is to follow, who is to succeed Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who's in ill health, and many suspect that he won't make it through the next 8 terms, the next 8 years of the Assembly of Experts. So what happens with this factional competition is actually really important in shaping Iran's future. Who comes out stronger, who has the influence over the Assembly of Experts, will ultimately shape what Iran will look like in the next decades.
And how do you see that going? I mean, who is likely to come out on top here, the moderates or the hardliners, do you think?
Well, I think that's a tricky one to ascertain. I mean, let's remember, Rouhani has got a lot of popular support, a lot of goodwill from what's happened with the nuclear deal, with the lifting of sanctions. And as a consequence, I think there's a lot of general goodwill for him, and his pleas for more reformers being involved, I think, will be heard. But there is inertia, there is a bureaucratic inertia within this political system that is, to some extent, designed to make sure that those in power stay in power. So the Assembly of Experts chooses the Supreme Leader, but the Supreme Leader has a say over the Assembly of Experts. There's a system of checks and balances in place. And I think those that value the status quo, so the more hardliners, the Revolutionary Guards, the Guardian Council, all have a vested interest in a more hardline faction taking power and remaining in power within the system of government. So I think it will be difficult for Rouhani to get the more reform-minded politicians involved, but I don't think it's impossible.
OK, Simon, thank you very much for your insight. Simon Mabon.